Hello, everybody. My name is John Cudahy. I'm president of the International Council of Air Shows. It's a pleasure to welcome you to our webinar tonight. We have an exciting virtual convention that we've been working on for the last couple months. Still have some work to do on it, but we know that the virtual platform may be intimidating or unfamiliar to some of you. So we wanted to give you a look at what the virtual platform looks like, how to find your way around it. And we have Miley Kim from Conference Direct, who is the operator of the platform that we're using. She's going to join us. I look forward to seeing you. I'll be with you at the end of the webinar to say goodbye and thank you. But I look forward to seeing you at the virtual convention, and just starts 4 weeks from yesterday. So we've got a lot of work to do between now and then, but the program is coming together well. We'll have a whole bunch of announcements in the next 10 days, a week to 10 days. And I hope all of you will register for the convention and join us virtually in December. So we want to get in to the program, and with no further ado, I'll introduce Miley Kim from Conference Direct. Miley?
Thanks, John, so much, and welcome everybody to today's just a quick overview of the platform. We will be taking questions at the end, so please go ahead and put those in the chat as they come up, and we'll answer them and address them when we get there. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, so what you'll see is you'll be receiving, once you signed up, you'll be receiving an email with a special magic link that you'll click on, and it will give you access to the conference homepage. As you can see, this is the homepage that we are currently working with. It is still a work in progress, so this is, again, just an overview for everybody. You'll be able to scroll down, check on some keynote speakers, just get some more information. We do have the navigation bar here at the top. Again, this is a very user-friendly platform. I know some of you might be concerned of the technology involved with it, but once you get that magic link, you'll have a week to be able to go in, click around, get familiar with it, and we encourage you to do that. And if you do have any questions, you'll be able to reach out and ask those once you get your login. Again, this is the homepage. You've got the banner bar here. These links or these images will be clickable and will take you to the exhibitor's booth. So you'll be able to click on that. We've got the schedule page where you see the overall agenda, as well as your My Agenda. So the agenda page, when you click on this, this will house the full agenda of the entire conference. We've got some great educational webinars set for everybody. Of course, encourage you to go through, look at the agenda, add topics to your personalized agenda simply by clicking on the plus sign to add it to your personal agenda. And you'll be able to see that by then clicking over to My Agenda, to the things that you've added to it. Again, very easy. You're able to see it here in list view. If list view isn't how you like seeing things, you can also click on the calendar view to see an overall calendar of the times that have been blocked off for your agenda. Next is the People's tab. The People's tab will give an overview of all our speakers and as well as the conference attendees. You'll be able to click on either one of these to get a list of the participants. And as you can see, again, very easy. You can search it by the last name. You can actually use this bar over here to search, or you can use the search tab right here, which you can do first name, last name, or any additional information to search for friends or specific sellers or buyers that you might be interested in. Next is the exhibitors page. All of the exhibitors will be listed here. They'll all have their own exhibitor booths. This is an example of what an exhibitor booth would look like. We do encourage you to go in. They'll have wonderful information about their organization listed here, as well as any files or any videos that they want to share. They might have some polls for some interaction, and you'll be able to, click on, if you don't have time to stop by, you can click on the Want to Meet button or a Request Info button, which allows them to gain your email address and contact number so they can reach out to you personally. You're also able, if you have any questions, you can start a new conversation and allow the exhibitors to get back in touch with you. We also have a sponsors button. We'll have a conversations tab right here where you can go and you can click on public forums. You can start a new conversation for everybody to see, or if there have been conversations for any of the sessions that you've been in, you can actually scroll through and find them right here. You're also able to send personalized messages to attendees via the platform, and you'll be able to do that through this inbox right here. Again, if you're familiar with any type of social media platform, such as Instagram or Facebook, this should be very, very comfortable for you because it's very similar to that. Again, you can send messages to people within the platform. Once you do get in the platform and after we've gone through our specific training, again, this is just an overview. We will actually have a specific day and time for more of an in-depth training to get you, again, more comfortable with the platform and to address any probably deeper questions that you might have. But there is a help desk button here that you'll be able to click on. We do have, if you have any technical questions about the platform, we do have that email address, or if you have general conference questions, we do have that here as well. There'll also be helpful guides that you'll be able to download. If you are more of a, I like to read and follow the instructions versus a webinar, you'll have that ability right here. Or if you actually like a video tutorial, you'll be able to click here to watch those as well. We do have the part, we do encourage everybody for the best experience to please read through this. And again, just general FAQs about the conference and the platform. But really, like I said, it's a very, very easy platform to use. A lot of maybe some of the issues that you might encounter will be if you do not have a steady or strong internet, that could be a challenge, and we do encourage you to kind of check your internet speeds. But other than that, again, we've got a great schedule. You'll be able to go to the agenda, add items to your agenda, remove items from your agenda. Please note, there has been some concern that I've heard from other attendees with other conferences that they don't want to be stuck, sitting in front of their computer for 8 hours a day. Nobody really enjoys that. Or if something comes up and you're not able to make a session, please note that it is going to be recorded and you will be able to actually go back and watch that recording of that session. So please don't feel that you are chained to your computer, or if an emergency comes up that you might have missed something. That's not the case. I'm just going to click on a demo that we had several weeks ago, and it's loading. As you can see, this was just a pre-recording. You can just hit the play button and again, watch that recorded content. So please do not feel that you have to be chained to your desk or to your computer that you have to be there. It is going to be recorded and it will be available to you to be able to view kind of an on-demand if you're not able to make that session. And other than that, that is kind of, again, just a very brief overall view of the platform itself. And we will have a dedicated training specifically for attendees, speakers, and exhibitors on how to get the most out of the platform. So at this time, we can go ahead and take any questions that you may have.
Miley, this is John Cudahy. I had a question. So could you explain sort of the entry point? I know people are going to get passwords and access codes and so forth, but when a typical delegate logs on for the first time and wants to say go listen to a virtual session, how would they do that?
So everybody will be receiving a special, what we call Imagine link through the email that they use to register. So once you click on that, it will take you to a page that says, first name, last name. create a password. We do encourage you to create a password that's easy for you to remember. It's not, the password can be simple as ABC123. It doesn't have, you have to have it 8 characters long with a special character and, a capitalized letter or a number. It's just something that's easy for you to remember. And then once you log in, again, you're taken to this home page. And if for some reason you've missed the first day, you can always go to the schedule portion, click on the agenda, find which day that you might have missed, and just click on it, and then click on what we call this session key card. Oops, excuse me. It disappeared from me. You'll click on the session key card. It'll take you in, and there'll be a recording right here that you'll be able to gain access to.
So go back to that Monday tab, if you would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there. So for the people watching from their computers, if you scroll down there, well, Monday's actually a bad day. Tuesday, try Tuesday.
Let's go to Tuesday. Okay.
So when this is fully built out, if you scroll down, you'll see everything that we've got planned. And then
Correct.
if you wanted to go back up a little bit, so
Mm-hmm.
there won't be anything there. But if on that keynote there, keynote David Blaine. So if you're sitting at home, you're registered, you've got your key code, you're logged in, you click on that, which is something that we will actually offer that day. In that space right there, there would be a video box of some sort. You'd click on that, and then just like a Zoom meeting or any other video conferencing, that would pop up, and you could watch that on your computer, or you could go there 10 hours after it was done, click on it to watch it. Is that all correct?
Yes, that is correct. So once the session is over, there'll be an actual video of that recording. But before that, I'm actually going to, so once you add, oh no, sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead to Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday.
So once you click on this, so once this has been added to your agenda, you'll be able to see that it has been added to your agenda. And when you click on that session key card, you'll have this countdown clock right here. So that means in this amount of time, this meeting will go live. This will eventually, once it gets down to 0, it will have a join meeting button. And all you'll do is click on that, and it will take you into your meeting session, which again, it's just a typical Zoom. And when I say typical, that's probably harsh of me to say that, to assume that people are familiar with Zoom, because I know that there's some people that aren't. But basically what will happen is that another screen will pop up, and you'll be put into this meeting where you'll be able to see and hear people. Again, and if you have any issues with that the day of, we do have support people on site that will be able to assist you. So please do not, we want to panic when things don't work out right. But please don't. That's what I'm here for. That is what our ICAS team is here for, is to support you and to make sure that you have a really good experience with the conference. So all you need to do is, if you are experiencing an issue, is just put something in the chat and say, hey, I'm having some issues connecting. Can you help?
Yeah.
And just hit that send button, and somebody will be monitoring that. So they'll be able to assist you. Again, with our first virtual conference, things might not go the way you anticipate them, but hopefully with the education that we provide to you prior to the conference starting, you'll be comfortable enough to be able to either reach out or to know, hey, I know I've got people who have my back, that they'll be able to assist me. And again, that's what I'm here for, and I can be here for.
And what Miley, you know this, but I'll tell the people that are listening. We had a similar, very general orientation meeting for exhibitors a couple of weeks ago. It was similar to this. We kind of introduced them to what a virtual exhibit booth looked like, got them familiar and comfortable, or started the process of getting them familiar and comfortable with the platform. The idea is, of course, that we'll have more of those education sessions. So nobody is expecting that a delegate who's considering registering will, on the basis of this orientation session, be completely comfortable. This is deliberately intended as just an initial look at the platform, so that when we start getting into more detailed training and explanations, you will have already seen it for the first time. And we'll be in touch with everybody to tell you exactly how that's going to happen. We know that this virtual platform is not what any of us wanted. We all wanted to be with each other in Vegas. This is what we've got. We're very excited, actually, about both the platform and the program that we're going to be loading onto the platform and giving access to our delegates, because it's a unique time for the air show industry. We need to be prepared for next year, and we're not going to do that by ourselves. I think there's a lot to be learned from each other, and we've gone out to many of the people who were lucky enough to have shows, and they will be very integral to this program. We're going to hear from almost every show that had a show this year so that we can put forward that information. And as Miley said, within the next week or so, this platform will be built out a little bit more, and we'll do a more in-depth and involved explanation of how you access it, both for the delegates who register and also for the exhibitors who are building their virtual exhibit booths in the exhibit hall.
Yep, that is correct. And again, with your registration and being an attendee, you will have access, prior to the conference starting. And again, we highly encourage everybody to please go in there before and to click around. Again, get comfortable with it. As you can tell, it is what I'm going to call a very intuitive program or platform, where you've got your navigation up here that will take you to the various pages, again, with your schedule, you've got agenda. And once you kind of flesh out your personalized agenda, you can just click on my agenda for those items instead of having to scroll through everything and pick and choose. Please note that
Miley, I've got a couple other questions for you. I'm going to read this right off the screen. Will attendees get emails when they get meeting requests from other delegates, or do they monitor an inbox that's built into the platform? In other words, where will people get these messages?
The messages will actually come through your email. That's associated with your conference registration. There's also this little notification bell right here.
Wait, hold on just a second. Go back. So if my email address that I use every day is cudahy@gmail.com, which for those of you who want to send me spam, it is not cudahy@gmail.com. But if it was, and somebody and I got a meeting or a request for some kind of engagement on the convention, I would see that in my whatever email ICAS has on in its database for me. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
And then also in the platform as well?
And also in the platform, there's this little notification bell up here in the corner. Again, just like any other I'm going to compare it to social media platforms because that's what we're most familiar with. But like anything else, this little bell up here, you'll be able to click on that and you'll be able to see any type of notifications that come through here as well.
Gotcha. I got a couple more questions, and we do want to make sure we keep this brief. So, when can our delegates expect to get the passwords and other information they need, either to go start looking around on their own, or in the case of the exhibitors, to go start setting up their virtual booth?
Okay. So for general attendees, you'll be receiving an email with a link that will take you, and you will create your own password. So you're not given a password, you'll just create your own. That will actually go out to just what I'm going to call general attendees. That is slated to go out the week of Thanksgiving. So again, Thanksgiving, spend time with your family, eat as much as possible. Maybe on Friday, wherever you're located within the country, either you're going to be at home because of regulations, or you might be out, but take that time, again, go into the platform and just have fun with it. Write your questions down, feel free to reach out and say, hey, why isn't this working for me? For exhibitors, we are hoping to get your exhibitor information, to get that email out to you, hopefully by the end of this week or the beginning of next week.
Okay. And so just to clarify, if you're an exhibitor with a booth, you'll be getting access to the platform within the next, let's say, 8 days. And with that access and the webinar that we'll do on how to build out and populate your virtual booth, you'll be able to start the process of loading videos, dropping in logos, updating the contact information, all this stuff that makes your virtual booth your virtual booth. Is that correct?
Right, exactly. What you want to do is once you get your login information, again, go in, start kind of really working out your booth. You're able to really customize your booth to what you want it to be. And the more information and the more engagement you have in it, the more that's going to drive people to participate in your booth. Put up some polls, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, industry related. It could be a general, what are your plans for the weekend, or something along those lines. It can be fun. Make it engaging. Make it fun. This
Yeah.
is you. Reflect your organization the way that you'd like to.
We are, as you will discover as you get to know us better, we are a very social group. And then,
I love that.
And for the rank and file delegates, they will, particularly for those that are uncomfortable or just want to spend some time familiarizing, they will get the information they need to visit the site almost 2 full weeks in advance of the beginning of the convention. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have another question. Some of the people, as you know, Miley, we have courses that are full day courses that require an additional fee. When somebody is registered for one of those classes, will their normal login information give them access, or do they have to go through some separate process to get access to those special workshops?
Nope. Those special workshops, again, those special workshops will then be automatically placed on your My Agenda. We do encourage that if you have what I'm going to say upgraded to the special additional workshops, we do encourage you to go to your My Agenda page to ensure that it is listed on that agenda, because I don't believe you'll be able to see it on the agenda, but you won't be able to access that. And we want to make sure that you go to My Agenda. And that's something that I definitely stress to people, is to make sure if you've got these pre-registered events that you signed up for, you have to encourage, click on that My Agenda to make sure that it is on there. Because we want you to be part of it.
It should automatically be on there if you register. Okay.
Correct.
A couple more questions. So I am an exhibitor, and I'm in California. Let's say somebody on the East Coast wakes up early in the morning and leaves a message for me or tries to get in touch with me before I'm awake. Does the platform have the capacity to make sure that the exhibitor knows somebody tried to get in touch with him or her?
So as an exhibitor who is on a different time zone, and thank you, John, for actually pointing that out. And this is something that I do want to point out to everybody too, and I'll go more in depth. Regardless of where you are located within the country or the world, if you're traveling, note that this time right here, this is going to be set up to whatever time zone your computer is in. So if you are a West Coast person, you'll notice that this time zone will be, PST.
Gotcha.
So just note that those times, you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, it's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What does that translate to me? Because this will automatically be updated to your time zone. But in regards to notifications, me as an attendee sending a notification to an exhibitor, it really depends on how I'm sending that notification to the exhibitor. I can come in here, I can click on this, and I can either start a new conversation with the exhibitor booth, is how I'm going to call it, or I can actually click on that specific exhibitor and actually send them a message. And when we send that message, that goes to their inbox. And yes, you will be notified again through this little bell icon, as well as your personal email.
Miley, a couple more. We're starting to run out of time, so let me get to these. So check me if I'm wrong. This is a kind of follow-up to that question that somebody asked that I just asked you. But isn't it true that one of the benefits of this exhibitor virtual booths is that anytime anybody stops by to see you, you're going to get analytics that tell you these 9 people visited, these 9 people clicked, these 9 people looked at this or that. So for the person that asked that question, there are multiple ways that when a buyer tries to contact an exhibitor, they can leave messages. But even if they don't leave a message, or if they leave a message in a way that is hard for you to find, the analytics on the system will tell you that that particular person visited and clicked or
Right.
tried to send an email or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll
So,
get a lot of detailed information.
yeah, so I'm actually going to kind of expand on that a little bit, since it seems like we do have some exhibitors on with us. You know, I'm going to translate it to, if we were in person and we had an exhibit hall, you're going to see all these people walking by, right? They're just going to pass by, and you might not be able to either get to talk to them because you're having conversations with another group of people, or you see them glance over, but they don't really stop by. Being virtual and having a virtual booth is, I hate to say it's so much better, because you're able to capture those people that just stop in, that might not join your, your Zoom meeting to talk to you, or they might just, look at your information. You're actually able to capture those people that click on your booth, and you'll do that. And John, forgive me if I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but I want to make sure that I show everybody that they have this information. But this manage button, which is only for the exhibitors themselves, you'll be able to actually click on this, and you'll actually be able to see leads and visits. So if you click on visits, you'll be able to see everybody who has ever visited this booth and the number of times that they visited. And why this is really important is because you'll notice, okay, let's say, Jeff right here, he visited 20 times. I never got a message from him, or he didn't join me in, during the virtual trade show booth hours. You can actually, as an exhibitor, click on these three little dots right here and send him a message and say, hey, Jeff, I see that you stopped by the booth. Wish we had a chance to get in touch. Please, let me know if there's anything I can, do for you, or reach out to you. Or you can even schedule a meeting. We do have that capability via the platform to schedule private sessions with people. So, while we're not in Vegas and we can't have cocktails together at the bar, we are able to kind of schedule meetings with one another and maybe have cocktails virtually.
Yep.
And I've seen people do that before, and I've done it before with my friends, and it's a lot of fun. But as an exhibitor, you do have that. You'll be able to see that. You'll also be able to see a lead.
Real quick, because we want to respect people's time and we're almost out of time. If you could answer briefly, if there is a meeting scheduled, a virtual meeting, but it's not something that everybody can go to. Let's say we have a board of directors meeting, for example. Will that information appear on the schedule for that day? So let's say I believe we will have a board of directors meeting on the Sunday. Will that appear on the? And I'm using board of directors just as an example. But let's say there's some other meeting that is limited attendance. Will that appear here, or will we send out a link to people who are expected to participate in that meeting?
That's more of a back end question that I don't think that's going to really affect the people that we have in the audience right now.
Okay.
So that might be something that we take offline. Again, trying to respect people's questions and time.
So we had one question from people about how the and I'll answer this rather than asking you to about how do you get people into the virtual exhibit hall? That's our job here at ICAS. We'll get people into the virtual exhibit hall. Once they're there, your responsibility is to make your virtual booth exciting and interesting enough to get people in there. And there's lots of things about these virtual booths that we can't have in Vegas. There's all sorts of filters. If somebody is looking for a warbird pilot in 6 states in the Northeast, this will have the capacity to filter that so that he or she only sees those people. So there's once you get familiar with the software, I think you'll see that there are ways to capture it. And as Miley explained, and she's been running through several times here, there are lots of ways where you can see essentially anybody who's expressed any interest in you at all. So that's going to require of the exhibitors, in order to take advantage of that, it is going to require that you become familiar and comfortable with the software, and that you do your research ahead of time to know who you will be able to see as an exhibitor. Everybody who's registered within 20 minutes of them registering, their information will be on the platform, so you'll be able to see that. Again, let's set an end time here for 4:35 or 35 after the hour, so that we don't. There's another question. Somebody said 2 computers. You can only log on with your information on one computer at a time, and this is probably a good opportunity to say that we are going to considerable expense and trouble to arrange this virtual convention. There's a lot of ways you can cheat the system. We would ask that you not do that. We would ask that if you have multiple people expecting to use this content, that you register multiple people. As it relates to this specific question, and I did not mean to suggest, by the way, that the person who asked that question is trying to cheat the system, but if you're somebody who likes to have, let's say, a tablet or your phone open at the same time you have your PC open, that will not be possible with this platform. If you have a login, you can only log in on one device at a time. So let's see. Well, a couple more. No, I just answered that one. And then we had some people asking about samples of exhibit booths. Miley at the very beginning went through our member services booths. We've filled that out a little bit to give you a sense of what that looks like. You can see that if you access. We'll make this recording available to everybody. You can go over all that we've talked about so far, but this is what that site will look for. Or look like. As you can see, we've loaded videos, we've loaded files, we've got contact information, we've got photos, we've got a general description of what ICAS is about. This is, of course, specific to ICAS, but when you do it yourself, this will essentially be a small website that's contained within our virtual exhibit hall. That's your virtual booth. And we will it's our job to send people into the exhibit hall, and we're working on a number of ways to do that, and people can make contact with you. They can request an appointment, and as we said earlier in the program, we will have a training seminar where we spend a half hour, 45 minutes, giving you very specific information on how to do that. So I think with that, we will wrap things up. When it comes time to register, we would encourage you. We would strongly encourage you to not plan on using a tablet or your phone to access the convention content. You can, in a pinch, you can, but we would encourage you to be on a laptop or a desktop of some sort. Only because and Miley, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but the features and accessibility of the virtual convention platform work best with a PC, a computer, rather than a tablet or phone.
It does. You're correct. One, also, it's because you're going to be in meetings and webinars, being on a laptop or a desktop, your screen is bigger. So you're not going to have to, and I'm going to use my cell phone as an example, you're not going to have to look at it like this, or switch it around to widescreen and try to see the small little details, because there'll be PowerPoints or there'll be different files being shown during those times, and you want to be able to see that without having to kind of squint, looking at either a tablet or on your phone. So it is encouraged to do your desktop or a laptop.
So we'll end with this. I will try to clarify what I believe I misunderstood. Can multiple people be from the same organization be in a meeting together at the same time? And the answer, if I understand the follow-up to the question, which I didn't understand the first time, is yes, you can, if everybody has their own registration information. Either on their own device, or presumably you could have it on a single device at the front of the room. I'm thinking that I still don't understand that question, and we'll follow up with the person who asked that to get to what they're asking for. So we will be doing more of this. We will be in touch with everybody to let them know that we're doing it, or we're virtually certain that this is the right platform and that the content we're loading on it is going to be well received by the members. So we're going to go way beyond the call of duty. This is just a start. As I said earlier, this is not intended to be a definitive explanation of all that is everything about the platform. We will do this some more. We will listen to the feedback we get after this, and we'll explain things that were confusing. We'll elaborate on things that we only glanced over. And by the time we get to December 7th and people are getting ready and excited for our virtual convention, it's our expectation that you'll be pretty comfortable with how to get around and how to access all the features. So thank you for joining us. We're going to sign off for now, but expect to hear from us with more information about the virtual convention and how to use this platform and within the next couple of weeks. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you virtually in December.